heart and soul of the game is at the Boxing Voice. Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
This is David Diamante. I'm the voice of Barclays Center and the Brooklyn Nets, and I will be your host this afternoon. On behalf of Roc Nation Sports and all of today's participants, thank you for joining us today as we announce an historic boxing match featuring one of the true legends of boxing, Miguel Cotto, defending his WBC World Middleweight Championship belt against former world champion and highly rated contender from down under, Geale. This special event, which is being promoted by Roc Nation Sports and Miguel Cotto Promotions, will take place Saturday, June 6th at the beautiful Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The event will also be shown live on HBO. Now, if you can't get to Barclays Center on June 6th, definitely tune in and enjoy it on HBO. However, trust me, you're going to want to be at Barclays Center on June 6th. It'll be a very special night. You know, in only just a few short months, fans have come to learn that Roc Nation Sports presents boxing like no one else does, in a very unique, crowd-pleasing, and lively style. And June 6th at Barclays Center, Brooklyn, will be over the top in terms of live venue experiences. There's a wide variety of ticket prices for this very special event, so anyone can come and enjoy the night. This is very important to Roc Nation, that everyone can come and enjoy its events. Prices for tickets start at just $25. Then they go up, $50, $100, $150, $200, $250, $350, and $500. Tickets will go on sale beginning next Wednesday, April 22nd at 10 a.m. at barclayscenter.com, ticketmaster.com, and at the American Express box office at Barclays Center beginning Thursday, April 23rd at 12 noon. You can also charge by phone at Ticketmaster. It's a toll-free number, and that number is 1-800-754-3000. For group tickets, please call 1-800-GROUP-BK. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with our speakers today, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the 4040 Club Manhattan for hosting today's important event. The 4040 Club Manhattan is an all-American sports bar and lounge with 12,000 square feet of pure sports and entertainment in an opulent lounge setting that combines the lavish warmth of a New York City penthouse with the vivacity and glamour of ringside seats at a championship fight. Thank you, 4040 Club. Now, in beginning our program today, the first person I'd like to welcome is one of the driving forces behind Roc Nation. He's played a key role in Roc Nation Sports Ventures into bringing a partnership with Miguel Cotto Promotions. And it is my pleasure to introduce the President and Chief of Branding and Strategy for Roc Nation, Mr. Michael Yormark.
Tough voice to follow. Before we get started, there are a couple of thank yous that I'd like to make this afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Miguel Cotto and everybody at Cotto Promotions for believing in Roc Nation and being one of the faces of Roc Nation boxing. Thank you to Ken Hirschman and HBO for their support in broadcasting this fight. I'd also like to thank my brother Brett for hosting this exciting event at the Barclays Center. Thank you to Daniel Geale and Gary Shaw for making this fight happen. And also to David Berlin, Executive Director of the New York State Athletic Commission, as well as WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, and all of their support. I'd also like to thank Tecate for becoming the premier sponsor of this World Championship event. And lastly, I would like to thank Title for live streaming today's press conference and helping to promote boxing throughout the world. Today is an historic day for Roc Nation in our boxing division. Muhammad Ali once said, He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. At Roc Nation, we decided to launch our boxing division in August of 2014. We knew we were taking risks. We knew we were entering a sport that was established with a long history and a deep-rooted culture. It took courage, but frankly, Roc Nation is nothing if not courageous. Led by Principal and President of Roc Nation Sports, Juan Perez, and Jay-Z, the founder of Roc Nation, we committed to promoting the biggest fights and the biggest fighters. Now, just a few short months later, we stand here with one of the best fighters in the world. One of the greatest boxers of his generation. Announcing a world championship bout inside the new mecca of boxing, the Barclays Center, and broadcast on the standard bearer for live boxing telecasts, HBO. It took courage and risk to get here, but this is a proud moment for all of us. We committed to changing the live event experience to incorporating live music and engaging fans in everything we do, to exposing boxing to the mainstream and non-traditional media, to elevating the brand of the boxers we work with, to disrupting the industry and moving culture. Together with Cotto Promotions, the Barclays Center, and HBO, we will do just that in the lead-up and promotion to the June 6th event. I know a lot of people are talking about the other fight in Vegas on May 2nd, but we're going to market and promote this fight as the biggest sporting event in the world. And we've got the perfect fighter to do it. In Miguel Cotto, we have one of the most electric and dynamic boxers in the world. And he will be taking on a tough and resilient opponent in Daniel Geale. Come early June, the eyes of the sporting world will be fixed on Brooklyn, and Roc Nation will have taken its next big step towards changing the boxing industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind everyone that today's press conference is streaming live on Tidal.com and will be available on demand. Our next speaker is the main day-to-day driving force behind Barclays Center and the Brooklyn Nets. This gentleman is a very special executive who has played a key role in this event. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to now bring up the CEO of Barclays Center and the Brooklyn Nets, Mr. Brett Yormark.
Good afternoon. Boxing is a big part of what we do at Barclays Center. We're very passionate about it and very deeply committed. This will be our 13th big night of Brooklyn boxing in just 2.5 years. And I am proud to say that Barclays Center is the new mecca of boxing in this country. Miguel Cotto has a storied history in New York, so we are delighted that he is calling Barclays Center his new home in this city. Miguel, we wish you all the best, and we know you're going to love it in Brooklyn. I also want to thank Daniel Geale for flying from Australia to be here today. Daniel is a strong competitor, and I'm looking forward to an exciting night on June 6th at Barclays Center. Today's press conference is a family affair. Michael and I have always been big fight fans, so to work together on this event is very satisfying, both personally and professionally. I also want to thank Juan Perez and Dave Iskowicz for the opportunity to work with Roc Nation on what will be an incredible night of Brooklyn boxing at the Barclays Center. I also want to recognize HBO for again giving boxing at Barclays Center a worldwide audience. And finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank the Hispanic media for your support of this show. We look at this fight as the launch to a two weeks or two a week of Puerto Rican festivities, culminating in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Brooklyn has the second largest Puerto Rican population of all the boroughs, so I know there will be a lot of attention for this fight. Again, thank you for having me here today, and we look forward to a great night of boxing on June 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Ladies and gentlemen, no, you did not have too many drinks. And yes, they are twins, Michael and Brett. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the head of Gary Shaw Productions, the U.S. promoter of Daniel Geale. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Shaw.
Thank you, everyone. Glad to be here. First, a major thank you to you, Miguel, and your team for taking the fight. And Miguel's been a good friend of mine for many, many years. And Gabby, wherever you are, I can't see with the lights, thank you. And to Juan Perez, on behalf of Roc Nation, thank you for having us here and choosing us as the opponent. Maybe not the right move, but we thank you anyway. I want to thank Gary Francisco, who is with Grange School Boxing, and Billy Tracy, both who have a lot of confidence in me and have been on this ride with myself and Daniel for a long, long time. And lastly, to Graham Shaw, who is not my twin, but is somewhere over there, who is the trainer of Daniel Geale, and is, in my estimation, one of the best trainers in the world. Anyway, let's get right to the fight. If you were looking at the fight with Golovkin, and that's how you were looking at Daniel Geale, then it was a wrong choice. If you look at Daniel's fights against Stern, where we went to Germany and lifted the belt and became the world champion, that's the Daniel Geale you're going to see on June 6th. You're going to see a great fight. Miguel Cotto is a great, great fighter. Daniel understands that, realizes it, and so do I. And we have a great deal of respect. But on June 6th, on HBO at Barclays, it'll be a whole new night. It'll be a night where Daniel Geale takes the belt back to Australia with him. So the only thing I can say to you, Miguel, and to Gabby, if you have other plans for September other than with a rematch with Daniel Geale, you're going to be in a rematch with Daniel Geale. So I thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you on June 6th, and see you back in September at Barclays. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next person I'd like to bring up is a true warrior from the land down under, Daniel Geale. He's a former world champion and the current WBC #6 rated middleweight in the world. Daniel's going to try and spoil some very big plans for Miguel Cotto. He's the boxer who stands in the way of a few monster fights that Miguel has dreams of having. And many people think that Miguel may be making a big mistake taking this fight. Daniel Geale is certainly one of those people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring up and welcome to you from New South Wales, Australia, Daniel, the real deal, Geale.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here. Firstly, I just want to thank Gary Shaw at GSB, Billy Tracy, and Gary Francisco back home in Australia for working so hard for me on HBO, and definitely Miguel Cotto for giving me this opportunity as well. I'm very excited. we're a little bit up in the air about if it was going to happen, but we're extremely excited that this is going to happen. I want to train my butt off for this one and make sure that I come away with another world title. I'm as excited as you could ever imagine, and this is a great moment for me. I'm so excited, and come June 6th, it's going to be a hell of a fight, and I can't wait to walk away with the titles. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, there's someone I'd like to acknowledge out here. He's been making his mark as a rising star executive in boxing for the past 20 years. And he's now been brought in to lead the Roc Nation sports venture into the boxing promotion business. And in 8 short months, he's already made a very impressive impact. He's played a major role in bringing Miguel Cotto and his company into a partnership with Roc Nation. Please give a warm round of applause for the COO of Roc Nation Sports Boxing, Mr. Dave Itzkowicz. The next person I'd like to introduce is a very important part of Team Cotto and Miguel Cotto Promotions. Miguel Cotto Promotions has quickly become one of the premier boxing promoters in Puerto Rico and all of Latin America, and this person has been a major part of it. I'd like to acknowledge and ask for a warm welcome to the Vice President of Miguel Cotto Promotions, Mr. Hector Soto.
Buenas tardes a todos y gracias por acompañarnos en la tarde de hoy.
Good afternoon to everybody. I'm very happy to be here.
Nosotros en Miguel Cotto Promotion estamos muy contentos y motivados de este gran evento el próximo 6 de junio.
We at Cotto Promotion are very happy and very excited to be back in New York on June 6th and having Miguel Cotto fight.
Quiero agradecer a nuestros socios Roc Nation Sport, Juan Pérez, Michael Yormark, David Itzkowicz y todo el equipo por trabajar arduamente y lograr este evento se diera posible y más aún en el Barclays Center.
I want to thank our partners at Roc Nation, Juan Perez, Michael Yormark, David Itzkowicz, and all the excellent team that Roc Nation has for making this great event possible.
Quiero también agradecer a Brett Yormark por su respaldo y hacer realidad que Miguel pelee en el majestuoso Barclays Center en Brooklyn, y también agradecer a Ken Hirschman en HBO.
Also want to thank very special thank you to Greg Yormark for having us at the Barclays Center for the first time, and for the support to this event, having Miguel Cotto, and also I want to thank Ken Hirschman, HBO.
Miguel Cotto está de regreso y más aún en su segunda casa, Nueva York y en HBO.
Miguel Cotto is back, and he's at his second home in New York, and he's very excited to be back.
Como es tradición, pelear en Nueva York, cerca de la gran parada puertorriqueña, es siempre orgullo para nosotros.
As everybody knows, it's been a tradition for the past years of Miguel Cotto's career fighting on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, so it's an honor and pride for us.
El sábado, 6 de junio, Miguel Cotto defiende su histórico campeonato mediano del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo y su legado ante Daniel Geale.
On June 6th, Miguel Cotto will defend his middleweight WBC champion of the world against a tough opponent named Daniel Geale.
Sin duda será una gran pelea para el disfrute de todos los fanáticos y en especial para todos los puertorriqueños.
But no doubt, it will be a great fight at the Barclays Center. It will be everybody will enjoy that fight, and especially for all the Puerto Ricans.
Miguel Cotto estará listo y preparado como siempre ha realizado a lo largo de su carrera para el reto que representa Daniel Geale.
Miguel Cotto will be ready. He will train as hard as always, and he will be ready for the challenge that Daniel Geale represents in his career.
Los esperamos a todos el próximo 6 de junio y muchas gracias.
We'll see everybody on June 6th, and tune in on HBO on June 6th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hector. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, last but very far from least, I'd like to introduce the star of this promotion. He's a true legendary warrior, certain to be in the Hall of Fame someday. Miguel Cotto is the only Puerto Rican boxer to be a world champion in 4 different weight classes. He's boxing for the 12th time here in New York City on June 6th, but he'll be for the very first time at the beautiful Barclays Center. He's now embarking on a new phase of his legendary career in partnership with Roc Nation. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome the pride of Caguas, Puerto Rico, the reigning, defending WBC middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros, presentando el ángel, Miguel Cotto.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Michael for being our partnership happen, David, Juan, and everybody from Roc Nation. HBO, thank you for being here too and make this fight possible again. All I have to say is I've been here for the last 2 years, 2 days, and I'm crazy to go back to LA to be in the training session again, and just crazy to be back to New York on June 6th. I know Daniel is a great fighter. I'm going to do my best as always in LA to make a beautiful fight and make excitement in all the fans. Thank you everybody for being here, and see you all on June 6th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miguel. So ladies and gentlemen, we'd like everyone to stay up here on the dais. We'd like to bring a microphone out there. I think Lauren has that, and we're going to go ahead and pass around if we have any questions from the audience. Okay, no microphone. We're just going to do questions from the audience.
You got a question?
Earl Johnson back here.
Shut up.
Yes, I have a question for Michael. Michael Yormark. How crucial was it to Roc Nation Sports, particularly the boxing division, to sign a fighter like Miguel Cotto?
It was very important. And over the last 6 months, it was a priority of ours. Obviously, Miguel is a legend. And we had decided and targeted Miguel for quite some time. It gives Roc Nation Sports, our boxing division, credibility. He, along with Andre Ward, are the 2 faces of Roc Nation Boxing. We're honored to have the opportunity to work with him and his entire team. And we hope this relationship will take him to the end of his career.
This question is for Danny Geale. Danny Geale, what will be training camp? Back in Australia or here in the United States? Because the last fight with Gennady Walker, you trained in Australia. Maybe that time lapse and the time difference and everything. Maybe that's the problem. I mean, we should train here in the US or going back to Australia and training?
Somebody question slow. What is it?
One question.
Where will you be training at?
Where will you be doing your training? In Australia or here in New York?
Yeah, I'll be training in Australia. Most of our training camp will be done in Australia. I'll be coming back a couple of weeks before. And, I think it did work last time. Just the plans that we had didn't work as well as we wanted. So that's the way things go sometimes in boxing. But this time we're going to make sure it happens right.
This question is for Daniel Geale and Gary Shaw. When the catch weight came up, how much of this was an issue for you, being as though that Daniel Geale has not fought under 160 pounds in about over 5 years?
It was an issue at all. It was an opportunity to fight. We get you like here. I'm sorry.
One more.
It wasn't an issue at all. It was an opportunity for Daniel to fight one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing. He's currently the WBC middleweight champion of the world. And as long as it was at a catch weight that we were confident that Daniel could make, there was no discussion. I called Australia, spoke with the team in Australia. They said make the fight.
Hold on.
Say it again.
Every member of boxing.
Hello. Puerto Rico, you represent not just Puerto Rico, not just Mexico, but all of Latin. Do you feel you're this era's Puerto Rican message?
The question was, in certain eras, certain fighters feel that they represent the Latino population like Roberto Duran did. Does Miguel Cotto feel the same way, like he represents the whole Latino population, not just the Puerto Ricans?
Roberto Duran was an inspiration for all of us, and I think it's an act of respect of coming from me to compare myself through him. I'm just, since the beginning, I just want to be a good boxer. I just want to sacrifice myself and I get the best for me, the best for my family, for my kids, and that's all I want in boxing. That's all I want in my life.
Dr. Abi, Executive Producer of World Liberty TV Boxing Channel. This question is for Miguel. Miguel, you've been with Top Rank a long time, and since now you moved with Roc Nation, are you still going to be having some connections with these people in case there's a big mega fight with a guy like Manny Pacquiao or any of these other guys down the road? Can you maybe tell us a little about that? Thank you.
I never had any problem with Top Rank. We didn't, our contract expired on December 31st, 2011. We had some deals, very global ones. I didn't receive, I think I didn't receive the same things I heard before, and I decided to move away because I want the best for me and for my family. That was all. If they want to talk to me, they want to say hi to me, they have my number.
This deal, since you let this deal sit. Miguel, how you doing? You made a career of fighting the best in your time. How important is it for you to end your career, should you get past Geale, fighting the likes of Canelo or Golovkin?
In my whole career, I'm facing the best. Those names includes Geale. He's on my left. He's one of the best boxers in the world right now. He was the best name on the table for this occasion, and we always going for the best one. I have to wait sometimes in my career for my opportunities. Canelo has to do the same. Golovkin has to do the same. Just sit, be with calm, and wait their time. You know, I don't like to push things. Everything comes by itself.
Anyone else have a question?
Any more questions?
Back here.
I'm coming.
Questions to Miguel. Miguel, do you feel that this is the first time you're being treated as a full-blown star? Many times we've seen you come in on a pay-per-view and you're the B side, and even with Martinez you were truly A side, but this is a different magnitude, it feels like, with Roc Nation being the lead promoter along with yourself.
The only thing I expect in life is being treated as I work to be treated. I work hard every day, and I like to be treated in this way.
Any other questions? Okay.
Any more questions? Gary Shaw would like to make a statement. Let me hand the mic over.
When I went up to the mic earlier on, I was remiss in not mentioning a certain person. This fight was done in a very, for the size of this event, this fight was done in a very short time, in a very short turnaround time. And it shows that relationships count in boxing. Not easy to have relationships in boxing that are at least sincere and deep relationships. So I want to personally thank Dino Duva, because without Dino, this fight would not have taken place. It's through the relationship that we had and the amount of communication and the hours and hours and hours that he and I spoke on the phone, hours that it cost me in my time and my attorney. So I honestly want to thank Dino because he was a great incentive to make this fight. Again, Miguel, thank you so much. We know you didn't have to take this fight. It's a chance fight, and I have the world of respect for you before and after the fight.
All right, thank you, Gary, and definitely thank you, Dino. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that should do it. I want to keep everyone up here on the dais, please. We're going to keep them up for a step and repeat. Ladies and gentlemen, just to reiterate,